Hey anime lovers, let me ask you this. How many masterpieces have slipped right under your radar? Imagine this, a world where the most incredible anime stories are hidden in plain sight, waiting to blow your mind. Today, we're diving into the most underrated animes you've probably never heard of but absolutely need to watch. And trust me, by the end of this video, your watch list is going to explode. From jaw-dropping action to heart-wrenching storytelling, these hidden gems will make you question why they aren't topping the charts. Ready to discover your next obsession? Summer 2024 was a rough season for Isekai anime. Sure, that time I got reincarnated as a slime carried over from spring and held its ground, but the new lineup? Let's just say it left a lot to be desired. Suicide Squad Isekai and Dahlia in Bloom are watchable, but barely. Failure Frame thrives on a few hype moments and an edgy, overpowered protagonist, both of which can feel more cringe than cool, depending on your taste. Meanwhile, A Journey Through Another World, raising kids while adventuring, and the strongest magician in the Demon Lord's army was a human are about as thrilling as watching paint dry. The only slightly redeeming entry, Quality Assurance in Another World, has some neat ideas, and is worth a shot if you're craving a trapped-in-a-game vibe. But then there's No Longer Allowed in Another World. Out of this lackluster lineup, it stood tall as the season's clear standout. Is it an all-time great? Not quite. But what it lacks in perfection, it makes up for with sharp wit and unexpected heart. Starting as a hilariously self-aware parody, this anime takes aim at classic tropes like truck-kun and overpowered heroes, delivering a wickedly funny ride. Its protagonist, a moody, nihilistic character clearly inspired by Osamu Dazai, steals the show, supported by a cast of mostly lovable side characters. Sure, the middle episodes lose some steam, but the final arc pulls it back together with more personal and emotionally resonant stories about other summoned heroes. Underrated might not fully capture, The Weakest Tamer began a journey to pick up trash. While the series earned a fair amount of love during winter 2024, it never quite hit the mainstream. Yet by the time March rolled around, this slow-life gem had quietly grown into one of the season's most charming Isekai offerings. What sets The Weakest Tamer apart is its fresh spin on the genre. In a world where your worth is tied to your stars, essentially your skill level, Ivy, a starless outcast, is deemed utterly worthless. Facing certain doom, she flees her village, embarking on a journey of survival with nothing but her weak tamer ability. The early episodes are intense, painting a harsh world where every moment feels like a fight to live. But as Ivy finds her footing, the show transitions into a heartwarming slice-of-life tale, brimming with warmth and innocence. Ivy's journey is brought to life with unexpectedly stellar animation by Studio Masket, elevating the show beyond its humble premise. Whether you're a fan of Isekai or just looking for a refreshing escape from tired tropes, The Weakest Tamer is a delightful surprise worth your time. In a world where wars are waged not by sprawling armies, but by a select few wielding godlike powers, Ishura delivers a high-stakes fantasy with a twist. As two rival states teeter on the brink of war, they each assemble their champions. Visitors from other realms, each possessing extraordinary abilities and, in many cases, hidden agendas that don't fully align with their factions. What sets Ishura apart is also what makes it a challenge to get into: its bold narrative structure. Instead of focusing on a single protagonist, the anime kicks off with what feels like 5 separate first episodes, introducing its entire ensemble cast in turn. This unconventional approach creates a disjointed and somewhat confusing start, leaving viewers wondering when the story will truly take shape. But patience pays off. Around episode 6, the pieces finally begin to click as the war erupts and the visitors start clashing in spectacular battles. From this point on, Ishura transforms into a thrilling spectacle of overpowered characters facing off in creative and visually stunning fights. Each combatant brings a unique skill set to the table, ensuring every showdown feels fresh and exhilarating. While the rocky opening might turn off some viewers, those who stick around will find themselves rewarded with an anime that thrives on its intense action and inventive power dynamics. Ishura may not be perfect, but it's a standout for fans of high-concept fantasy who crave epic battles with a side of intrigue. Is seeing spirits a gift or a curse? For college student Aoi, it's a little bit of both. Her life takes a dramatic turn when, During a routine walk past a shrine, she notices a spirit sitting quietly and offers him food. But this act of kindness has unexpected consequences. The spirit, an imposing ogre named Odana, abducts her and whisks her away to the Hidden Realm, a mystical world inhabited by spirits. Once there, Aoi learns that her grandfather left her an unusual inheritance, a massive debt owed to Odana. The ogre intends to claim Aoi as his bride as payment. Refusing to accept this fate, Aoi strikes a deal. She'll work at Odana's inn to pay off the debt instead. Thus begins her journey as a chef in a realm where the guests are anything but ordinary. Kakuriyo, bed and breakfast for spirits, strikes a delicate balance between heartwarming slice-of-life moments and the enchanting mystique of its supernatural setting. Aoi's resilience and culinary talents shine as she navigates her new life, earning the respect and friendship of the spirits around her. While it doesn't delve into the psychological depths of darker Isekai tales, Kakuriyo excels as a feel-good story with just the right amount of drama and charm. With its lush animation, captivating world-building, and a protagonist you can't help but root for, this series is a hidden gem in the Isekai genre. Whether you're in it for the food, the fantasy, or the unlikely friendships, Kakuriyo is a feast worth savoring. Classic 1990s anime fans, rejoice! El Hazard. The magnificent world is a blast from the past that serves up equal parts adventure, comedy, and nostalgia. This OVA series, spanning 2 seasons, follows Makoto and Jinnai, 2 high school students who couldn't be more different. Makoto is easygoing and likable, while Jinnai seethes with jealousy and resentment. Their rivalry comes to a head during a school confrontation, only for both of them, and 2 others, to be mysteriously transported to a magical world by a strange woman. What awaits them in this new realm is a blend of absurdity and wonder. El Hazard doesn't take itself too seriously, reveling in its over-the-top antics and embracing the quirks of its time. The humor is unapologetically 90s, with exaggerated expressions and a penchant for slapstick that might not land with every viewer, but will charm those who appreciate a bit of retro flair. Despite its lighthearted tone, the show has its moments of intrigue and heart, as the characters navigate alliances, rivalries, and the occasional existential crisis. While not every episode is a home run, El Hazard consistently delivers entertainment, making it a cult classic for fans of old-school anime. Though it's harder to find these days, El Hazard is well worth the effort for anyone looking to experience a piece of Isekai history. If you happen to stumble across it, don't pass up the chance to dive into this eccentric, delightful world. What do a magician, a multimillionaire, a genius inventor, a swordswoman, a prime minister, a doctor, and a journalist-turned-ninja have in common? They're not your average high schoolers. When a plane crash strands these 7 prodigies in a medieval fantasy world, their extraordinary skills make them nothing short of unstoppable. High school prodigies have it easy even in another world. May sound like an outlandish premise, but it's executed with surprising finesse. From its high-quality animation to its sharp writing and stellar soundtrack, this series is a polished gem in the Isekai genre. The real fun lies in watching these modern-day geniuses apply their expertise to a world of swords and sorcery. How does a prime minister navigate medieval politics? What can a doctor with cutting-edge medical knowledge do in a world with primitive healthcare? The series dives into these questions, blending humor, drama, and action in a way that keeps you hooked. It's an adventure that doesn't just entertain. It makes you think about the possibilities of blending modern brilliance with ancient fantasy. Imagine being tasked with spreading otaku culture in a world that's never heard of it. That's the absurd yet oddly relatable premise of Outbreak Company. This quirky mashup of harem, comedy, and parody anime follows Shinichi, an unlikely missionary whose mission is to introduce a fantasy realm to the wonders of anime, manga, and video games. The very idea of treating otaku culture as a world-changing export is hilarious, and the show leans into its absurdity at every turn. Shinichi's passion for geekdom is both his strength and his struggle, as he faces a world with zero interest in his favorite things. For viewers who've ever tried to share their love of anime with skeptical friends or family, Outbreak Company hits home in the most amusing way. But beyond the laughs, the series has heart. It validates the idea that being a geek isn't just okay, it's something to celebrate. With its self-aware humor and relatable protagonist, Outbreak Company is a love letter to otaku culture that will leave you smiling. Being exceptional isn't always a blessing. Misato Kurihara knows this all too well. Isolated by her genius in her previous life, she asks for a simple wish upon reincarnation, to be average. But the gods have a funny sense of humor. Instead of blending in, Misato's new magical abilities are the average of the strongest and weakest beings in the world, making her ridiculously overpowered. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Is a delightful mix of humor, action, and self-awareness. Misato's struggle to fit in while being anything but ordinary is both funny and endearing. The anime doesn't shy away from poking fun at Isekai tropes, delivering plenty of in-jokes and references for seasoned anime fans. While it deviates from the light novels it's based on, the series stands strong on its own, offering an engaging female protagonist and a balance of lighthearted comedy with moments of genuine emotion. Whether you're here for the laughs, the action, or the relatable theme of wanting to belong, this anime delivers a charming and entertaining ride. Spring 2024 was a stellar season for Isekai anime, with heavyweights like Konosuba. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, and Mushoku Tensei returning with new chapters that largely upheld their high standards. These series are anything but underrated, and the same can be said for some of the season's new offerings. Monster received fair praise, while as a reincarnated aristocrat, I'll use my appraisal skill to rise in the world and chill in another world with level 2 super cheat powers garnered attention, befitting their quality. Meanwhile, the new gate came and went without much fanfare, leaving little impression. Then there's a salad bowl of Eccentrics, a quirky gem that flew under the radar. Unlike its peers, this anime flips the Isekai script, transporting powerful characters from a fantasy realm to modern-day Earth. It kicks off with a bang, literally, as Sarah, a princess fleeing a grim fate, crash lands on Sasuke, a private detective in the middle of a case. Soon after, her loyal knight, Livia, follows, though her first days on Earth are spent as part of Tokyo's homeless community. At first glance, the series draws comparisons to Hinamatsuri, a standout in the reverse Isekai subgenre. The early episodes feel derivative, echoing Hinamatsuri's blend of absurdity and heart. But as the story unfolds, a salad bowl of Eccentrics carves out its own identity. The wholesome bond between Sarah and Sasuke is heartwarming, but it's Livia who often steals the spotlight. Her bizarre storyline, which sees her unwittingly elevated to deity status by a cult, delivers the show's most outrageous laughs. While it doesn't aim for masterpiece status, A Salad Bowl of Eccentrics is a delightful romp brimming with charm, humor, and just the right amount of chaos. If you're looking for a fun, low-pressure watch, this hidden gem is worth a spot on your list. The year 2023 was a strong one for Isekai anime, with hits like The Eminence in Shadow and Mushoku Tensei dominating the conversation. Even lesser-known series, such as the most heretical Last Boss Queen, Why Rilliana Ended Up at the Duke's Mansion, and Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill, earned their share of praise. But Kamikatsu, Working for God in a Godless World, stands out as a true oddity, a show that defies expectations, for better or worse. At first glance, Kamikatsu seems like a train wreck. The CGI animation is jarring, almost distractingly bad, leaving many viewers scratching their heads. But this apparent flaw is actually part of the show's bizarre charm. As the episodes progress, it becomes clear that Kamikatsu is no ordinary anime. Its peculiar sense of humor grows increasingly absurd, leaning into a deranged, satirical tone that borders on surreal. The story follows Yakido, the son of a cult leader, who is reincarnated into a world where gods are myths and religion is non-existent. Tasked with reviving faith in a forgotten deity, Yakido finds himself embroiled in a series of hilariously over-the-top scenarios that poke fun at religion, societal norms, and the very fabric of the Isekai genre. This anime is the epitome of an acquired taste. For those who can embrace its eccentricities, Kamikatsu transforms into a wildly entertaining ride that's as unpredictable as it is unforgettable. However, its unconventional style and humor mean it's not for everyone. If you're willing to stick with it past the rough start, you might just find yourself falling in love with its chaotic brilliance. And there you have it, some of the most unique, underrated, and downright eccentric Isekai anime out there. Whether it's the chaotic brilliance of Kamikatsu, the heartwarming hijinks of A Salad Bowl of Eccentrics, or the over-the-top genius of High School Prodigies, Have It Easy Even in Another World, these shows prove that the Isekai genre is full of surprises just waiting to be discovered. So, which of these caught your eye? Maybe you're ready to dive into the absurd world of otaku evangelism with Outbreak Company, or perhaps didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Has you curious about how average can actually mean unstoppable? If you've seen any of these, let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you've got your own hidden gems or underrated favorites, drop those recommendations. I'm always looking for my next binge-worthy obsession. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more anime recommendations, and hit that bell so you never miss an update. Until next time, keep watching, keep exploring, and keep celebrating the wonderful, weird world of anime. See you soon.